Hey, hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chris. Every day I do a vlog for 1,000 days, guys. 1,000 days. So if you're not subscribed, subscribe would be absolutely awesome. Just take a look at this view. It's lovely, isn't it? Look at that. I'm back over here at the River Plym. Such a beautiful place, it really is. Aren't we lucky and gifted to have this in our lives? It is so special, it really is. Every day I talk about something unique, and today I'm going to talk about, can you love two people at the same time? I think you can. The morality of that maybe is open for a bigger discussion or a wider discussion. But can you love two people at the same time? I think you can, but differently. I think there's different kinds of love. There's different kinds of affection. There's different kinds of warmth and kindness, love, support, warmth, whatever you want to call it. There's a different connection. I think you can. I think you can. And it's well documented that some people have. And I know a story actually of a woman who had been married for quite a while, and she loved somebody else. It was kind of in a different time, in a different era, where she ended up marrying and successfully having a family, and she ended up obviously still loving somebody from her past and inadvertently having a child with that person from her past. Now, you could talk about the rights and wrongs of all of this, couldn't you? You really could. You could say it's wrong to cheat, to do all that sort of stuff. Now, there's a whole other set of videos that would run with this. We could talk about this for the next 24 hours, but I don't think YouTube would let me post a 24-hour video. It'd be interesting. But can you love more than one person at any one given time? I'm going to say different people occupy different affections in your mind, in your heart, in the way that you look at life. And I really, truly believe that sometimes in life you will make a decision. Your life could easily go down one road, and you find yourself in a position where, yes, on the face of it, on paper, you're successfully, happily with someone, you're happy together, and that reoccurring moment appears where somebody from your past who you had such a strong connection with, who you never ever believed that you'd ever see again, they materialize, they reappear, and before you know it, it's a case of that person finding a place in your heart. And whilst the ramifications of dishonesty, the lack of trust, the hurt, everything that can come with all that, but really this is just a video about could you love somebody else other than the person you're with? I would say yes. I think the affections and the eccentricities of our heart and the way it behaves, it can behave that way. Now, it sounds horrible and unpalatable to be able to say that. A lot of people wouldn't be honest enough to maybe talk about it, to have an open conversation about loving two people at the same time. Now, there are polyamorous relationships, people who are in multiple relationships, albeit secure relationships. I think the first time I heard about that was probably a few years ago. And again, it plays testament to the fact where we've evolved as a society, as a community. There are several probably documented families who live together, and yet they have people that they share the intimacies with, obviously more than one or two people, and that's how they choose to live. Now, there's no right or wrong. If that's how they want to live, that works for them. Would it work for me? I don't know. I'd say probably not. More than likely not. I guess my values are important to me, but it doesn't make what my values are different to you. You know, your values are unique to you, mine are unique to me, and if they choose to live that way, that's on them. I'm not going to judge them. If it works for them and they're happy, then that's fine. But can you love more than one person at any one given time? That's really the question today. And I'm going to say yes, you can. Yeah, not the same kind of love, but it's a love nonetheless that people have the propensity to share, to feel. And if you can do that, if you want to do that, with that comes ramifications. You hear stories where people do it for years on end, don't they? And all of a sudden, 25 years later, it all comes out. The guy's got a family with somebody else, and they just couldn't believe it. People around them just could not believe it. All these business trips away, but that involves deception, deceit, the lack of honesty and trust. All those issues come into play. But I'm not really focusing on those today. I'm just going to discuss whether you could love somebody else other than the person you're with. Now, after a very long relationship, people get divorced, they end up losing partners, and when they do, they make themselves available to other people coming into their lives. And I think some people have proven that the fact that if you lose somebody, you can love again. If you lose somebody, that's kind of permissible in society, isn't it? I guess one of the things that people find very unusual is that we have the propensity to judge people if they're in this very different style of relationship. But love comes in many forms, guys, doesn't it? It really does. It presents in a way sometimes completely out of the blue, and it can be with absolutely anyone, and you just never know what's around the corner. And what's around the corner is something completely off kilter to what you would normally expect. But love in all its forms is so much better than being horrible, being mean, doing horrible things. Loving two people at the same time, I think it is possible, and the possibilities of love are endless, aren't they? And you never know what love or where love takes you. Sometimes people meet another person while they're in a relationship, and that is fine, but you've got to end that other relationship, haven't you? You've got to, in order to move forward, to press ahead in life, you've got to call time on it. And if you call time on it and start a fresh relationship, well, that's probably the best thing. Honesty with people, doing it with kindness, with love, with support, with awareness. There will be pain involved, probably on both sides, but in this conventional society, if you don't have people who are in this polyamorous relationship, then being in love with somebody other than the person you're with, I think is practical in terms of the human condition, but it's not acceptable really on a morality level for an awful lot of people. But I just really wanted to explore that theme today because I just thought it's important to talk about that. And maybe there are people out there that find themselves in that position. Is it an unfortunate position you find yourself in if you do love somebody else? I think people can have an affection for somebody else even if they're in a committed relationship but don't do anything about it, because the hurt and the pain that can follow, because they do hold the current person that they're with in high regard. Sometimes we're confronted with that immediate sort of connection, aren't we? We've all been out shopping at the store and bumped into somebody and had this just immediate, very strange but very, very lovely connection, and the fantasy of that could run away with you, and you could say that's a connection which you don't have with your current partner. But most people realise that these kind of things are transient and usually pass with time. So I guess ultimately I think you can love somebody else you can feel something for somebody else. But it's better to be honest, truthful, try not to hurt anyone, try and be the best person you can, the best version of yourself, and you never know, that might be the best way moving forward for you. Anyway, look, I am gonna pop off, and you enjoy the rest of your day. As always, I do a vlog every day, so subscribe would be awesome. I'll be back again tomorrow with a completely different theme, and I'll leave you with this beautiful sight. It is lovely. Look at that over there. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye now.